It's one of the three names. The movements, we call ourselves either critical psychology or critical psychiatry or anti-psychiatry. Some people are more sort of in your face and call themselves anti-psychiatrists, and some people are less in your face and go with critical psychiatry. But the basic idea is that there is a fraud being perpetrated on folks, and I would say especially on parents whose kids are being diagnosed right and left with made up labels, things called diagnoses that aren't diagnoses at all, but that are labels based on checklists, on symptom pictures. So it's a big subject, it's an important subject. There are tens and tens of millions of people unnecessarily taking chemicals called medication for distress called mental disorders, and they would be well served to not be taking those chemicals and to be finding other ways to relieve their distress. Don't I've talked about it in so many other books that I've leapt right to moving cognitive therapy forward in Redesign Your Mind. The idea of that book is using the metaphor, which I'm not sure if it's only a metaphor. There's some sense in which, to me, it's also reality, but the metaphor of the room that is your mind, the place we go where we think and when we think, and the idea of actually redecorating, redesigning, changing that place so that rather than just arm wrestling thoughts to the ground, rather than dealing with the thoughts, we change the source of those thoughts. And it's really based on the idea of visualization, visualizing the room that is your mind in different ways. For instance, getting rid of the bed of nails that so many people live on in their mind and replacing it with an easy chair, or installing windows so that a breeze can blow through because so many minds are claustrophobic, etc. So they're sort of charming visualizations, but underneath the charm is the important idea that we can take better charge of how we think our thoughts. It's accurate. It's not therapy because I don't believe in therapy. There is a category of thing called cognitive behavioral therapy, and so it's an upgrade on that. But it itself is not therapy. It's more about cognitive change or cognitive improvement. The therapy word is a loaded word for me, so we'll call it cognitive change or cognitive improvement. And it looks at both how the room could be redesigned or redecorated, but also how one could inhabit that room differently. I call that indwelling style. I think people, when they go to the room that is their mind, they go there in a characteristic and repetitive way, like when they go there, they're immediately anxious, or when they go there, they're immediately sad. And so all of the thinking that they do comes from that place, from that style. They're stylistically anxious or sad. And so they can also improve and change their indwelling style as well as sort of like saying you can improve the atmosphere of the room as well as the furnishings of the room. And by improving both of those, you have a new environment. You actually are feeling different and thinking differently.